All right, good morning. Welcome, Thursday, 29th of January. So we're in a broad downtrend the last 2 days, and that's been continued in the pre-market today. And looking at its hourly chart, we've got a few areas of interest. So we've got, if we come up into yesterday's open, which is here, we're not far off of it, but if we come into yesterday's open, that's also where we were, where the lows were on Tuesday. So if we come into yesterday's open, Tuesday's lows, so somewhere around here, if you look at the little rectangle I'm drawing, that could be an area of interest to look for shorts. A better area would be coming up to the overnight high, which is also yesterday's high. So that's a nice little confluence there. Could be a key resistance if we can rally up. Potential shorts up there. If we break higher than that, then our bias would change to the long side. But we're short bias unless we can break above yesterday's high. And then looking down, we've got yesterday's low down at 24,705. And if we break below that, then we're looking at the pre-Trump U-turn. So before Trump changed his mind on the whole EU tariff situation and the market boomed last week. So looking down at the sort of 500-600 area. But yeah, if we do break below yesterday's low, there is a lot of room for potential continuation to the downside. So yeah, plenty of potential today. We're moving down here immediately off the open, testing the overnight range low. There were no shocks yesterday in the US with the interest rates. It was held as expected. Yeah, that's all there is to say, really. It's a pretty, I want to say, straightforward session. We've got our key levels and we're waiting to see if the market hits them. And that's about all there is to it, which is nice. That's what we want, really. Yesterday, made a trade after the stream, which I made a short review of. Fairly stressful trade, having gone in profit, close to profit target, and then moved all the way against me to within literally about 2.5 points of my stop loss. At one point, I actually thought I had been stopped out, but I hadn't. It's just the screen had sort of glitched a little bit. And then it came all the way back down again. Again, very close to my take profit, but not quite. I managed to get some profit out, just shy of 400. We did, I can show you this quickly. We did get a bigger move. So if you look at the left chart, we had that initial move down, and then we had a lot of sideways stuff, and I shorted up here, which was a good short, but then we entered into a trading range. But then at 11:45, we retested the initial breakout point at 8:30, and then that's where we saw the real continuation. So we had the right idea, we had the right bias. We just got stuck in a trading range, which is, given what day it was yesterday, it's not surprising that happened. But it's nice to know that we weren't miles off it. Right, we are breaking out. We are breaking out early this morning. Okay, this could be fun. So we're breaking out below yesterday's low, which was one of our areas of interest. we're already down 100 points in the first 3.5 minutes of this session. So what we want to see is a clear retest of this breakout point. So yeah, no chasing the market, but this has been an extremely negative open. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. The market is seriously dumping. Okay, well, I can't chase after this. But there could be some fun shorts coming up in a little while. It's not far off 200 points down now on the first 5-minute candle. That is one of the biggest 5-minute candles I've ever seen outside of situation. Okay, we're going to need to probably trade with a bigger stop loss today because this is some pretty hefty volatility. So we're looking for a test of this previous day low. It's important to not get overexcited when the market's moving quick. Just stick to the normal plan and don't chase after something. This is a near carbon copy of what we were trying to do yesterday, looking for a retracement to the previous day low to short continuation. Almost exactly the same. Just today we've got a lot more volatility. Okay. So we're close. Close. So just looking to see if buyers are going to be able to push us back to the previous day low, or if we're going to get stuck. Okay, looking like we're going to get it. So that's the first 15-minute candle closed. Buyers have recovered approximately half of that initial big sell-off, but we've closed below yesterday's low. Okay, so here we are. We are getting our retest. Okay, we're actually pushing for the moment back into yesterday's range. Okay. So now the other area is this overnight range low. Wow, the market's made a full recovery. That is quite something. So it seems like that opening move was really just some massive profit taking, most likely. Possibly off the back of last night. A lot of hedge funds base their long-term strategies around interest rate cycles. So there's probably a lot of orders, a lot of sell orders there right off the open. So I think we probably have to, for the most part, discount this opening price action and essentially start again. So I don't want to be short now unless we can break below, once again, yesterday's low. Because it's very unclear now where the market's headed. So the market's really just settled into a range now around the previous day low. So we are just in a case of looking for a break and retest. But market's now gone very, very quiet. Okay, we could be getting a breakout. Okay, so we're now looking for a retest of VWAP or the previous day low to get short. Okay, I'm short the DAX. I'll change screens in a moment. Okay, so I'm short here. Stop loss goes above where we started that breakout. Only slight concern is that we are on a prior bar low here on a 15-minute. But if we can break below that, then I feel quite good. Okay, this position's looking good right now. Stop loss to break even. Come on. Okay, I've taken half in case the market's going to rebound here. I think that's a sensible thing to do. Oh, that's a good trade though. Bloody good entry. Bloody good entry. So that's 317 banked. Given that we're already above our weekly target, I would rather just leave stop loss at break even and see if we can run this down towards the lows. To be honest, I don't think it will. But it's worth it. It's worth the risk, to be honest. It's worth the try for the sake of a couple £100 of extra profit. Okay, we're out. Just wonder if we can get a retest of VWAP, if we could re-enter. We can come back up here. I don't know. It could continue down, it could continue up. It's I'm pleased that I took some profits out, regardless of what happens now. This has been a bit of a strange morning again in terms of price action. Saw how suddenly the market reversed earlier on. I don't want to get caught in a similar situation, you know. Okay, well, I'm definitely not going to make a trade in the next few minutes, so I'm going to take a break and then I'll be back. Oh, well, that's bloody annoying. Oh. All I can say is my bad. My bad. Should have left it. Shit. Well, there we go. Ooh, it's going to happen sometimes. Well, it's a £400 trade that probably should have been at least double that, but there we go. There we go. I am going to, on Saturday, do a proper review. I'm going to go through every trade I've made so far this year, and I'm going to test different methods of profit taking. So what I'll be testing, a few different things. So if we use this trade as an example, where was I short? Short here, stop loss here. So take half profit at 1 times my risk. So that is something I'm definitely going to be doing, and that I did this morning. But then the question is, when do you take the remaining half? So what I'm going to test is having a 2-minute trailing stop loss. So on the 2-minute chart, place a stop loss above a 2-minute high. So every candle that closes lower, if we're shorting, you place your trailing stop loss above the most recent high. Same with a 5-minute. Do the same on the 5 minutes or higher time frame. And I'm also going to test just simply letting it run to target. So put stop loss to break even, and then let the remainder of the position run to whatever my initial target would have been, which today was going to be around these lows here, which it would have hit today. Obviously, this is an example where if you'd have let it run, it would have worked out fantastically. But as we sort of talk about every day, that doesn't happen all that often, really. So it's a question of, is my current approach of being very cautious the most profitable, or is it worth me allowing myself to lose a little bit more in order to make more when it does go in my favor, like it has done today? That's the question that I cannot answer without really going quite heavy into my trades. So I will do that on Saturday, because I've got a shortened day of coaching on Saturday. So I'll probably go live early Monday morning and go through what I found. And then whatever I found, I will then base my strategy on that going forward. So, I can't be too annoyed at myself because I really don't have a set in stone method of profit taking like I do for entry. Entering, it's absolutely clear where we get a breakout, we retest either a key level or the moving average, which we did here, and then you enter on the close of that candle, which I did, and I do that every time. I've done that the last 3 weeks. I did it the last 2 months of last year. It works. It's easy. But profit taking can also be easy if you accept whatever rules you've got in place. I have my take half at 1 hour, which is good and is definitely worth continuing. But then that other half, I have no rules in place for myself. So we will do on Monday. Tomorrow, I'm going to do a 5-minute trailing stop for tomorrow. Down to my profit target is what I'll be doing. So is there anything else to do today? I can only trade until 10 o'clock today at the latest. Question is, do we think there's more downside in this move today? Are we going to trade a break and retest of this low? This is the 4-hour chart. This is 6 days ago. We hit this low all the way down here. Do we think we can get all the way down there again today? Last Tuesday, we had a 4-hour candle, which was 300 points. The current 4-hour candle is 200 points, top to bottom. So that would suggest certainly could be more. Okay, so let's see what happens. I'm going to wait another 15 minutes or so, see what happens here. Because if we do get a break below the low of the day, that's another potential break and retest. Also, if we get another test of the moving average, then that could also be a good one. So yeah, let's see. Okay, we've got some buyers coming in off the start of this new hourly candle at the lows. Hard to believe we're only an hour in. So you could argue that we haven't. You could argue that this entire opening dip and recovery you can just completely ignore. You could argue you can completely ignore that because that's not real trading, to be honest. That's just noise from orders that were already placed prior to the market opening. So let's say we ignore this entirely and that this is really the start. We've had a move down. We haven't really had a proper retest yet. And you see that on the hourly candle. We could easily get an hourly retracement, which could be a really good trade again. So I think that's what we shoot for. I think that is what we shoot for. Okay, I'm going to end the stream here because I want to review and log my trade that I made this morning. And I need 3 screens to do that. And I think if I put 3 screens on, it's going to crash the stream. So if the market does retrace or it does break out lower, I will do a review. but I'm only trading till 10 o'clock at the latest. So anything that happens after then, I will not be involved. So yeah, great entry this morning. Great trade entry. Again, took half profits exactly where I should have, which is good, for about 350. And then the remainder of the position got stopped out for basically break even. Now, I can't say I moved stop loss up too soon because I don't really have a rule for that. So from tomorrow, we will be 5-minute trailing stop on the remainder of the position. And then at the weekend, I'll do a proper review of the year, and then we'll go into February with that no longer being an issue. And we'll commit to something. And whatever we commit to, we'll commit to it for at least a couple of weeks before we review it again. All right, wicked. I'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully have a strong end to the week. We're now, I don't even know how much we are up for the week now. Where are we? About 2,500. 2.5, either 2.5 to 2.6 K for this week, which is great. Nearly, what's that? 3.5%, 3.5% or more. Yeah, I can't ask for any more than that in terms of profits. It's just profit taking is what we need to focus on going forwards. It's a nice problem to have that we've actually got profits to take, as opposed to taking losses all the time. So it's a nice place to be. Right, I will see you tomorrow.